I happened to overhear my wife laughing a little too loudly with her friends after they'd clearly had a few too many drinks. One of them joked about me being too clueless to figure out she'd been unfaithful for years, and the whole group just burst out laughing. I didn't say a single thing at the time, but when she later came to my door in tears, she sure didn't expect what was waiting for her. I'm a 32-year-old guy, and honestly, I never thought I'd end up telling something like this. So here's how it started. Last weekend, I was supposed to be on an overnight trip with my buddies to catch a game a couple states over. We'd had it in the books for months. But Mike's kid came down sick last minute, so we had to scrap the whole thing. No big deal as stuff happens. I figured I'd surprise my wife, Jessica, she's 31, and we've been married 7 years, by coming home early. I know, in these kinds of stories that's usually the beginning of the end, and yeah, what I walked into is somehow even worse than catching her with someone else. When I pulled into the driveway around 10 that night, I saw a few cars parked outside. Right away, I recognized Brooke's Ford and Robin's Audi. Jessica had mentioned the girls were coming over while I was gone, so nothing seemed off just yet. I was heading toward the front door when I heard voices coming from the back deck through the side gate. They were loud. Not just loud, wine-drunk loud. I was about to go around and say hey, but then I heard my name. That made me pause. Just a gut feeling, I guess. Jessica's voice came through, slurring a bit as she said something about me being so. She couldn't even finish. The girls all giggled like it was hilarious. Then Brooke chimed in, saying she still couldn't believe Jessica had managed to keep this up for so long. And right after that, Jessica pretty much shouted that I was too dumb to catch on that she'd been cheating for years. More laughter. I just froze there. It was like everything inside me hit pause. Then Jessica kept going, saying Trevor was the best choice she'd ever made. She started talking about how just last week, while I was working late, Trevor had come over and they'd fooled around right on the couch I always nap on. The laughter got even louder. Robin yelled out something like, "No, not the holy nap couch," like it was the funniest thing in the world. Then Jessica added that the next day I'd been all sweet, making her breakfast. Said if I only knew what she'd been up to the night before, I wouldn't have been so nice. My stomach just dropped. It felt like someone had punched me right in the gut. That breakfast. I'd made her favorite avocado toast and those fancy eggs she likes. Brought her coffee in bed. Told her I loved her. I don't even know how long I stood there, listening to them swapping stories. I was shaking all over. That's when I found out she liked to have Trevor over whenever I was away on business. They'd been seeing each other for more than 2 years. She even spent the night with him the weekend of my dad's funeral. Told me she couldn't come because she had food poisoning. I didn't storm in. Didn't say anything. Just turned around and walked straight back to my car. I ended up parked in a Walmart lot not far from the house, just sitting there trying to breathe. I must have looked crazy, some grown man losing it in his car. Once I could halfway think again, I called Mike. Thank God his kid was doing better and he answered. I told him everything. My whole life just blew up, I said. He didn't hesitate. Don't go home, he told me. Crash here, we'll figure it out. So I went over to his place and just paced his living room for hours while he started looking up divorce lawyers. Meanwhile, my brain kept pulling up all these little moments from the past few years that suddenly made sense. Like the girl's trips where she came home with barely any photos. Or how she'd started flipping her phone face down all the time. Random hotel charges not far from home. And all those late showings she claimed she had for work, even when it was way past business hours. I felt like the biggest idiot on the planet. Around 4 in the morning, Jessica texted me. Said the girls had all crashed there. Hoped I was having fun with the guys. Threw in an, "I love you" for good measure. I almost threw my phone at the wall. The nerve of it. Mike took my phone and told me to play it smart. Don't let her know what you know, he said. Not yet. So the next morning, I acted like everything was fine. Told her I'd had a few too many and ended up staying at Mike's. She bought it, no problem. Even had the gall to gripe about cleaning up after the girls while dealing with a hangover. Over the next week, I slipped into full-on detective mode. While she was in the shower, I went through her phone. There were thousands of messages between her and Trevor, some going back years. Hotel receipts. Inappropriate pictures. I screenshotted everything and emailed it to myself. Then I checked our finances. Hundreds of charges from restaurants I'd never stepped foot in. Lingerie I'd never seen. And get this, she used our joint account to pay for a weekend trip with him while I was at my dad's funeral. Every new thing I found felt like another gut punch. We'd been married for 7 years. 7 years of me defending her to my family when they said she seemed selfish. 7 years of planning a future together, Talks about having kids next year, growing old side by side. All of it? A lie. I met with a divorce attorney during my lunch break. According to Google reviews, she was the toughest one in town. She didn't waste time sugarcoating. Document everything, she told me. Separate your finances. Be ready, because it's going to get messy. She said she sees this kind of situation all the time. And staying quiet for now was the right move. The more we had prepared, the better position I'd be in once it all came to a head. That night, I watched Jessica laugh at something on her phone, probably texting him. And something inside me just shifted. The pain didn't go away, but it went cold. Like ice instead of fire. And right then, I knew I didn't just want a divorce. I wanted justice. Jessica had built her whole personality around being admired. Always trying to look perfect, on Instagram, at parties, even around her friends. She liked being the one people went to for advice. The good one. The one with the perfect marriage and the picture-perfect life. But now, I had proof that it was all a performance. A lie. So I started taking steps. I moved half of our savings into a new account with only my name on it. Password protected all our important files. Made a full inventory of everything we owned. Took photos of anything valuable. All stuff my lawyer said to do. And while I did all that, I kept playing the part of the loving husband. Kissed her goodbye in the mornings. Asked about her day. Sat on the couch beside her while she messaged Trevor like I wasn't even there. Every day, I smiled on the outside while quietly setting the stage to wreck her carefully curated world. 3 weeks in, I was ready. I had everything saved. Screenshots. Financial records. Proof of the affair. A lease signed on a new apartment. And I had full support from my family, who were heartbroken for me. The hardest part was pretending. Hearing her say, "I love you," before bed. Watching her talk about trying for a baby next month, like she hadn't been betraying me for years. I wanted to yell. I wanted to blow the whole thing up right there. But I didn't. Because I knew something she didn't. The man she thought was too stupid to figure it out? He was about to become the most calculated, unshakable force she'd ever met. And I was going to do it all clean. No drama. No mess. Just cold, hard consequences. I overheard my wife brag to her friends that she'd been cheating for years. Instead of confronting her, I spent the last few weeks gathering evidence and preparing for the most thorough divorce she never saw coming. The countdown has begun. First off, wow. I didn't expect my last post to take off like that. The day after that post, I noticed something weird. Jessica started being extra nice. Like, over-the-top nice. She was cooking my favorite meals. Initiating intimacy. Even suggesting we look at houses in fancier neighborhoods. At first, I panicked. Thought maybe she knew I was onto her. But then it hit me guilt. Classic behavior, according to every late-night Reddit deep dive I've been doing. Let me walk you through exactly what I've been doing behind the scenes. Finances. That was priority number one. I already moved half our savings to my own account. Then I went line by line through every transaction that might be tied to the affair. Those hotel bills? Got them all organized. The dinners she said were client meetings, but were really dates with Trevor? Itemized. I made a spreadsheet. Every single expense tied to her affair, down to the lingerie she bought for him. I even photographed the receipts. My lawyer told me that could count as dissipation of marital assets. Basically, she used our shared money to cheat. So yeah, it mattered. Next, I froze our joint credit cards. Told her there was some suspicious activity and the bank was sending us new ones. Technically true. That gave me just enough time to quietly remove her as an authorized user on my main card. A few days later, she tried to check out, and her card got declined. She called me, furious, ranting about how humiliating it was. I played dumb, told her maybe the new cards were just delayed. Sorry, babe. Must be the mail. Then I started moving out anything important to me. Didn't do it all at once, just the irreplaceable stuff. My dad's watch, family photos, vital documents. I waited until she was showing houses, aka off playing house with Trevor. Each time I took something, I rearranged a few things or swapped in cheap substitutes so she wouldn't notice. Then came the evidence packet. This is where my buddy Mike really came through. We pulled together everything. Screenshots of messages, hotel bills, photos, credit card statements, a full timeline of the affair. I even had recordings of her phone calls with Trevor. We're in a one-party consent state, totally legal. I made multiple copies. One for me, one for my lawyer, one for Trevor's wife. Yep, I found her. Her name's Danielle. Sweet lady. Totally in the dark about all of this. And I made one final copy, for Jessica's parents. Now for the social part. This was delicate. I knew Jessica would try to spin things once it all blew up. Make me out to be the cold, bitter ex. So I got ahead of it. Started having low-key guy chats with our mutual friends. Just subtle stuff. Hey, you ever feel like your marriage is a little quiet? Or, does it seem weird that Jessica's always on her phone lately? That kind of thing. Just planting seeds. I also took screenshots of her Instagram. All those posts painting our relationship as goals, while she was sneaking off to cheat. The hypocrisy was unreal. Then came D-Day. I picked it on purpose, the same day as her big client appreciation event. One she'd been planning for months. That morning, I acted like nothing was up. Made her coffee, kissed her goodbye, told her good luck. She left looking like $1,000,000, wearing the outfit I now realized I had unknowingly paid for, so she could impress another guy. At exactly 9 a.m., I sent the evidence packet to Danielle, Trevor's wife, via courier. Included my phone number in case she wanted to talk. By noon, the bomb had officially dropped. I was already at my new apartment when the texts started pouring in. Why is Trevor's wife calling me? Did you talk to her? Answer your phone now. I didn't answer. Just sat back and watched the chaos unfold. Danielle finally called. We talked for almost an hour. She was heartbroken, but thankful. Said Trevor had been gaslighting her for years, calling her paranoid whenever she had suspicions. Now he was in full panic mode, apparently throwing Jessica under the bus to save his marriage. By 1 p.m., Jessica's big event was in shambles. She had to leave early due to a family emergency. She called me nonstop. At 2 p.m., I sent a short, to-the-point email to her parents. No emotions, no drama. Just the facts, timeline, key evidence, and a respectful note that I felt they deserved to know the truth about their daughter. I told them I didn't want to hurt them. I'd always liked them, but I couldn't let Jessica twist the story. By 5 p.m., I was sitting calmly in our living room when she finally came through the door. She looked like she'd been hit by a truck. Mascara everywhere. Pale. Shaky. Like she'd aged 5 years in one afternoon. First, she exploded. How dare I tell Danielle? How could I betray her like this? Then came the begging. Tears, pleas, seduction, more crying. I just sat there, cool as ever. Let her burn herself out. Then I looked her in the eye and said, "We both know exactly what this is." And I handed her the divorce papers my lawyer had drawn up. The color just drained from her face. That's when it hit her. This wasn't some heat-of-the-moment reaction. I'd been planning it. For weeks. While sleeping next to her. While making her coffee. While pretending everything was fine. Then she noticed a few of my things were missing. I told her I'd already moved out, and she had 5 days to figure out her living situation before I told the landlord she violated our lease. Yep, turns out there was a morality clause in it. Another gem my lawyer found. The next few days were interesting. She bounced between threatening me, "You'll never get away with this," and full-on begging. It was just physical. "We can fix this. I've always loved you." She even tried the victim card. I was lonely. "You work too much." Meanwhile, her social circle was turning into a ghost town. Brooke and Robin vanished. As soon as they realized this might blow back on them, they bailed. Her parents called. That conversation? Apparently not supportive. Her mom even called me to apologize. And Trevor? That coward went full survival mode. Told his wife Jessica had been obsessed with him. Said she kept coming on to him, wouldn't leave him alone. Classy. Then came the financial reality check. Half our savings? Already legally moved to an account in my name. Joint cards? Shut down. She couldn't even cover rent on her own. And with her big client event crashing and burning, her job situation didn't look too solid either. Then she heard, through the grapevine, that everyone knew. Not because I blabbed, but Trevor's wife did. Her friends told their friends, and it spread like wildfire. Her whole curated social life. Crumbling. Last night, she showed up at my new place. Don't ask me how she found the address, probably that friend of hers who works at the leasing office. She was sobbing on my doorstep. Mascara running. Looked like a wreck. For a split second, I almost felt bad. Almost. But the neighbors were starting to stare, and I'm not about creating drama, so I let her in. She immediately launched into the waterworks. I made a huge mistake. I'll do anything to fix this. I can't believe I risked our marriage for a guy like Trevor. I let her go on for a bit. Then I hit her with this. Remember when you told your friends I was too stupid to know you were cheating? She froze. Yeah. Surprise. The look on her face when she realized I'd heard that whole conversation? Indescribable. First came the shock, then horror, then shame. She tried to walk it back. I didn't mean it. I was drunk. It was just talk. Blah, blah, blah. I cut her off and told her to sit down. I had something to show her. She thought she was getting sympathy. What she got instead was math, spreadsheets, financial projections, a complete breakdown of her new post-divorce reality. In short, she was screwed. I executed the plan, exposed her to the people who mattered, locked down my finances, watched her perfect little world fall apart in real time. She came looking for forgiveness. What she got was a calculator. It's been 5 months since then. I just needed time to process everything before wrapping it all up. So, you know those demolition videos where they rig old buildings with explosives and it all comes crashing down in perfect sequence? That's basically what happened to my ex-wife's life. And I had front row seats. The morning after she showed up crying at my place, I woke up calm. First time in months, I didn't wake up at 4 a.m. with my stomach in knots. I made coffee. Didn't even check my phone to see if she'd texted me. That's progress. Meanwhile, Jessica was learning about something my therapist called consequences culture. After she left my place, she apparently drove straight to Brooke's, hoping her bestie would take her in. So get this, according to our buddy Tyler, when Jessica showed up at Brooke's house, Brooke literally pretended not to be home. Car in the driveway. Lights on. Curtains open. But nope. Total ghost mode. Top-tier friendship right there. Anyway, what's happened since then? Let me break it down for you. The divorce. Surprisingly smooth, legally speaking. My lawyer? Worth every penny. During mediation, Jessica tried the whole "one mistake shouldn't erase 7 years of marriage" speech. The mediator, this older lady who looked like she'd seen it all and had zero time for nonsense, just stared at her and said, "Does 2 years of documented cheating count as one mistake?" Jessica's face? Priceless. When she saw the waterworks routine wasn't landing, she pivoted to threats. "I'll ruin your reputation. Tell everyone you were abusive." Not true, by the way. Make this divorce hell for you. My lawyer didn't even flinch. Just slid a stack of photos across the table, Jessica and Trevor, plain as day, and calmly reminded her that in Maryland, adultery can seriously affect alimony. It was like she brought a butter knife to a nuclear war. We settled few weeks later. I kept my retirement accounts and most of our assets. She got enough to start over, but nowhere near the lifestyle she was used to. The judge even told her she was lucky under the circumstances. The financial fallout. This part was rough to watch even for me. She had to move in with her parents, in their retirement community. From our luxury apartment, to a guest room with floral wallpaper and the same twin bed she had in high school. She tried keeping up appearances on Instagram, lots of inspirational quotes about growth and trusting the journey. Took photos at weird angles so no one could tell she was back in her childhood bedroom. But social media is funny like that. People notice when your posts suddenly turn into throwbacks and filtered coffee cups instead of actual life updates. Then it got worse, she lost her job. Not because of the affair. Her boss didn't care about that. But because she kept missing work, showing up late. Probably depression. And honestly, I can't say I don't get it. The social aftermath. Now this part. This was fascinating. Our social circle split in ways I didn't expect. Team me. Mike, obviously. Tyler and his wife. Most of my coworkers. Even Jessica's cousin Holly, who apparently always thought Jessica was selfish. Team Jessica. Her parents, kind of. But even they were keeping their distance, according to family gossip. Eventually, she reconnected with Robin, who, fresh off her own divorce, was deep in a men or trash phase. Team nobody. Most folks just kept their heads down and stayed out of it. Can't blame them. No one wants to get dragged into someone else's breakup. Now, the weirdest thing? Brooke, after ghosting Jessica, reached out to me on Facebook. Said she was just checking in and asked if I wanted to grab coffee sometime. I passed. There was something about how fast she bailed on Jessica that rubbed me the wrong way. Like she only wanted to be around when things were going well. The Trevor situation. Danielle, Trevor's wife, and I stayed in touch. Nothing romantic. We were just two people trying to process the same mess. We'd get lunch every few weeks and update each other. Trevor? Oh, he pulled every cliche in the book. Boombox outside the house. Giant flower deliveries at her work. Even tried to drag their pastor into it. Didn't work. Danielle filed for divorce few weeks after D-Day and moved in with her sister in Virginia. Last I heard, She's dating a kindergarten teacher who also coaches Little League on weekends. Good for her. As for Trevor, he tried texting me some long dramatic message about how we were both victims and how Jessica pursued him. I sent him back a simple LOL. Felt just right. This part's a little tougher to talk about. That first month after I moved out, I basically went full hermit mode. Wake up, go to work, come home, order food, watch whatever random stuff was on Netflix, sleep, repeat. My apartment looked like a sad college dorm. Mattress on the floor, one pod, two plates, zero decorations. Just bleak. Then one morning, Mike showed up with a bag of bagels and basically staged an intervention. Sat me down and made me talk. Like really talk. I'm not much of a crier, but man, that day hit hard. Told him stuff I hadn't even said out loud to myself. How underneath all the anger, I was just sad. Sad about the years I'd spent with her. Sad about the future I thought we were building. Sad that someone I trusted that much could throw it away so easily. After that, I finally started therapy. Didn't feed me any nonsense about forgiveness or healing with your ex or whatever. He just gave me tools. Stuff I could actually use to deal with what happened and move on. So I started small. Got a real bed frame. Joined a local soccer league. Actually said yes when people invited me to stuff. Started cooking real food again. More than just frozen pizza and protein shakes. Few months ago, I went on my first date since everything went down. Nothing serious, just coffee with a woman I met through this hiking group I joined. It was awkward as hell. I forgot how to even have a regular conversation with someone new. But hey, it was a start. Then the weirdest thing happened. Last week I was at the store, picking out paint. Finally got tired of staring at plain white walls, and I literally bumped carts with Jessica. She looked different. Shorter hair. No flashy clothes. And for a second, we both just froze. Then she asked if we could talk. Against my better judgment, I said sure. We sat down on a bench outside, both holding our little orange bags like shields. She started with a real apology. No excuses. No spinning the story. Just flat out said she was sorry. Said she'd been doing therapy, too. Trying to understand why she did what she did. I won't lie, I was waiting for the waterworks. The guilt trip. Maybe even a pitch to get back together. But it didn't come. She didn't want anything. Just said she was sorry and hoped I was doing okay. Then she told me she was moving to Pittsburgh. Had an interview lined up and was staying with a college friend till she found a place. And the weirdest part? I felt nothing. Not mad. Not hurt. Not even some kind of petty satisfaction. Just nothing. Like watching the last episode of a show you stopped caring about halfway through the season. We said goodbye. No hug. Just a nod. As she walked away, she turned back and said, I know it doesn't matter now, but I really did love you. I just didn't know how to love anyone properly, including myself. I stood there for a while, just watching her drive away. And all I could think was, half-year ago, that would have wrecked me. Now, it was just another random day at store. Where I'm at now, my new place is finally coming together. It's smaller than the one we shared, but it's mine. No weird memories around every corner. No emotional landmines. Just peace. Work's good. Friends are solid. And me? I'm doing all right. Most days, anyway. Yeah, there are still moments. A song comes on, or I see something that reminds me of her, and it stings. But those moments are getting fewer and farther apart. Yesterday, I finally deleted all the evidence from my computer. Well, most of it. Still got a backup drive locked in my safe, just in case. But I don't need those screenshots and timelines cluttering up my digital life anymore. Time to make space for something better. Deleting those files. It felt kind of symbolic. Like clearing the browser cache on your life. Just wiping out stuff you don't need to carry around anymore. I've actually started seeing someone new. We're taking it slow. She knows the basics. Yeah, I went through a divorce. Yeah, it got messy. But I haven't dumped all the ugly details on her. She's patient. Doesn't push when I need a little space. Doesn't flinch when I flinch. Too early to say where it's going. But it's just nice to feel like something could go somewhere again, you know? As for Jessica, weirdly enough, I heard about her through her mom. She still sends me birthday cards every year. No idea why. Just her thing, I guess. Anyway, apparently Jessica's doing all right out in Pittsburgh. She got the job. Found a place. Making new friends. Part of me is honestly glad. Not because I wish her well or anything. It's not that deep, but because it means the chapter's officially closed for both of us. The same woman who once laughed behind my back, said I was too dumb to ever catch on, Ended up learning the hard way that actions have consequences, that reputations take years to build, but only seconds to wreck, and that once trust is broken, some things just can't be fixed. And me? I learned I'm stronger than I thought. That starting over doesn't mean giving up. And that the best kind of revenge? It's not wrecking someone else's life. It's rebuilding your own, brick by brick, better than it ever was before.